Well, good morning and welcome to this week's episode of Choir Leader, who was just about to be in a kayak. I'm sitting here in the kayak store actually, and it's absolutely tipping it down. So I have made the wise decision today to abandon my plans and stay warm and dry. And this week's episode is all about warm and dry and cold and tired. I've had a really nice week. I've been trying out cold water swimming. And it is quite a challenge, isn't it? A good challenge, but I have been reminded yet again of the vulnerability and the strength of the human body and how we must really look after it to make sure that everything's operating as it should be, and that indeed big shocks and traumas can definitely take their toll. So I've had 3 cold water swims this week, all togged up in wetsuits with floats and with some supervision, and they've all been so very different. That's the thing, isn't it? The weather we can look and we can prepare ourselves, but we never quite know on any given day how our body is going to respond to that. And certainly my body responded in very different ways this week with my cold water swimming. Hot sweet tea has been definitely the thing that's rescued me on many an occasion this week. The other thing that's rescued me this week has been having lovely walks, distanced and outdoor exercise with some friends and talking and spending time, because as we know now, lockdown is going on. It's like an unfinished symphony, isn't it, at times? And it does feel that it feels like there's no end in sight at times. But thankfully this week we've heard of the new vaccine. We've had the great news that Joe Biden is going to be the new president. And for those of you who very cleverly have picked up that most of my episodes each week, they are all about what else is going on in the world on a much broader level. So last week when I talked about fog and America, well done to those of you who picked it up that actually I was inadvertently talking about the election. And the fog did lift, didn't it? Whether it was the results that you personally wanted or not, certainly the way ahead feels a little bit clearer. Today looks like pea soup out there, and it looks like I'm not going to be getting to go on my boat at all today. But we'll see. Can you hear it? Can you hear the rain? Have a little listen. I'm getting dripped on left, right and centre. Anyway, there we are. I'm togged up. I'm nice and warm. My body's not in shock. So that's a really good sign. When it comes to music and making music and singing, I think that sometimes the shock of even stepping into a rehearsal room and being asked to open your mouth and sing next to a stranger, it does the very thing that we don't want to do when we're about to sing. We kind of grip in areas that's not going to be helpful to us at all. My job as a choir leader and as a singing teacher, and more recently as a vocal health first aider, is to help people have that sense of what's going on in their bodies and in their minds that might just be affecting the way they produce sound. And so it's a very, very exciting journey that I feel I'm undertaking, and I'm absolutely loving adding a new string to my bow. So I think that's it for me. It's all a bit drizzly, but my big take home this week has been that the human body is extraordinary and it will survive in very cold circumstances. But sometimes when it's had a bit of a shock, you need to give it the time to recover. Whether that shock is a physical one or sometimes a mental trauma. Sometimes it just needs time. Have a really lovely week. Stay well. Apparently the sun's coming out later today. You never know. Perhaps I'll get on my kayak later. But for now, I think a hot, sweet cup of tea is just what I need. Lots of love. Bye-bye.